Hello my friends and welcome for another whiskey review. My name is Dan and today I have a blended Scotch whiskey to review, part of the Johnnie Walker range. If you like whiskey and you are a fan of the Game of Thrones series, you've probably tried this one already. It is part of the 3 bottles collection of Johnnie Walker blended Scotch whiskies, the other 2 bottles being named Game of Thrones Fire and Game of Thrones Ice. Well, I think I am the only person in this part of the world who did not watch a single episode of Game of Thrones. I knew it was there, my friends and my colleagues used to talk a lot about it, but I just could not be bothered to be part of the crowd. And then, following the success of this series, whiskey producers jumped in, especially those owned by the big multinational corporations, selling us different mediocre whiskies carrying fancy names of those houses from the film just to make extra money, of course. Again, not my kettle of fish. But then, during one of my travels, I popped into a supermarket and on the bottom shelf I found this whiskey. And what intrigued me was the price, around 12 British pounds. I just could not believe my eyes. £12 for a branded Scotch whiskey, cheaper than a Ballantine's Finest, cheaper than a no-name supermarket own label. I just could not resist to buy it and try it. What can go wrong? Nice looking square bottle, typical for Johnnie Walker. White Walker on the label. Limited edition, right? I wonder how limited to 500,000 bottles it is. Striding Man, of course, but what's more interesting for me, it is not bottled at 40% ABV, but at 41.7% ABV. As I can find on the back, and it is no surprise, this whiskey is chill filtered to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Created by whiskey specialist George Harper and his team, this whiskey features malts from Clynelish, one of the most northern Scotch whiskey distilleries, and Cardew, among others, and of course grain whiskies. The bottle has a temperature-sensitive graphic that will spell out the words "winter is here" when it is at the right temperature, because the manufacturer recommends the whiskey to be served from the freezer. But anyway, everything you see and read on this bottle is pure marketing, nothing more. Let's move to the nose, taste, finish and mark, shall we? First glass is at the room temperature, second glass from the freezer. So, the cold Johnnie Walker White Walker. First, pale golden color and on the nose. Almost no smell. Do I suffer with COVID-19? Surely not. The ice and the cold reduce or eliminate the more subtle flavors, and in this case that's happening here as well. Almost no smell at all, just some green apples and a bit of cinnamon combined with a little bit of a grain sweetness. That's all. At the room temperature, right, the nose is much better. The usual expected vanilla with a touch of caramel, but the fruit is what stands out the most. Some tropical fruits, mangoes, pineapple, some apples, and some raspberries. Less grain influence. So the freezer doesn't help this whiskey at all from the nose point of view, and this is no surprise anyway. Let's move on to the taste. From the freezer, very weak, with caramel, grain sweetness, a little bit of fruitiness, not too much, mango and bananas. Yep, a cold, simple taste with basically no finish. The finish is next to zero. It's like swallowed, gone, nothing. At room temperature, sweet, again vanilla, caramel, young, light fruitiness. The mango and banana flavors are more pronounced, easier to discover them. Spicy, peppery, some oak playing around, and some green apples to balance out the sweetness. Medium and bitter finish, and that's probably why they want us to drink it from the freezer, to hide the bitterness from the finish. Of course, if I drink it cold, there is no bitterness because there is no finish. I still prefer it at the room temperature, by the way. For the price I paid for this bottle, it is a decent whiskey, better than the red label, and I'm going to give it 8.3 out of 10 blended mark. Now, if you want to buy it and you find it for more than £20, then my personal opinion is don't buy it, unless you want to experience something different. Well, thank you for watching. If you think my work here is not in vain, then subscribe, like and share. There is more to come in the next week, so until next time, Slanjava.